Hello students, welcome to the next module on energy engineering, that is on diesel engine power plants. So the syllabus is something like this. We will go through the fuel injection system, air and unit injection, distributor injection system, CRDI engine, water cooling systems, that is thermostat system, thermosiphon system, single and double circuit cooling systems. Then we will look at the lubrication systems, that is splash lubrication, pressure feed lubrication and dry sump lubrication. And finally the diesel supply system. I was fortunate that I have visited Tata diesel power plant at Belgaum many times. I used to take students from Sheikh Engineering College for an industrial visit there. So diesel power plant means they not only use diesel, they also sometimes use furnace oil, that is heavy furnace oil, the black oil which looks like a crude oil. So basically for large installations, like that was around 20,000 horsepower engine. So around they had 5 engines or DG sets. For that, diesel is not economical. I think you are aware. This power what we buy at home costs somewhere around 6 to 7 rupees a liter unit, that is kilowatt hour on an average. But the same thing if you have a generator, like our college has a generator, 62 kVA generator, and some shops have got generators. There when they generate power from petrol or diesel, it costs somewhere around 15 to 20 rupees per unit. So it is very expensive, almost 3 times expensive than the energy what we buy, because this 60% of the electricity what is produced is through coal power plants, which we have seen in the module 1, and some 25% of power is produced by the hydel power plants. So that we will be seeing in the next same module, but the next chapter in the module 2. So diesel power plants or diesel engine power plants, you can consider any like our DG set in our college, or you might have seen in hospitals or in movie theaters. So they have small backup power plants. They are used only when the regular grid supply is disconnected, for small captive applications. But some people have large scale plants. So the diesel engine power plants, basically they also deal with large power plant, as I was telling, from Tata power plant at Belgaum. Now it is sold out, it is gone to Gulf. So they had Wärtsilä engine, WARTSILA, Wärtsilä engines. These engines are very famous in marine applications. Huge, that is the largest engine what I have seen. One engine is almost 1 lakh horsepower. The largest engine is produced by Wärtsilä Sulzer. Okay. So now what are the applications? If you want to see, applications means in hospitals, hotels, in movie theaters, gyms, colleges, for backup power. Okay. Then the advantage is these DG power plants are very quick to start. As you know, in our college when there are power cuts and it is required, we start the DG set immediately. So starting time is very less. Whereas in the case of steam power plant and all, it is more. It takes hours together to start a steam power plant, because so many equipments are there, and to commission that it takes time. But DJ set can be started even within a minute, and sometimes some people keep it in auto start position, so that once the main power gets stripped, so the DG power starts immediately. Okay, backup. So, but they have local point source pollution. So whenever we produce power, there will be local pollution will be there. Okay. Whereas in the electricity what we buy, it is the pollution is there at the place where the power is produced. Now first we look at the layout of the diesel power plant. Very simple layout it is. You can just imagine this layout, how it is. Uh, what are the main requirements? See, to the extreme right you can see the cooling tower. So below that cooling water pump is there. And the big one in the center is the diesel engine. So diesel engines, it is not one engine. As I was telling in the Tata power plant at Belgaum, they had 5 engines. So still they had capacity for additional 5. So when the power plants are built, then they also keep a scope for future expansion also. So diesel engine is there, which is coupled to the generator, we can see. And now to the extreme left, if you see top, you have got the day tank. Day tank means actually this diesel power plants, they consume a lot of diesel. So they will have a huge tank first. Okay, that will be a storage tank, and from that storage tank we will pump daily quantity whatever is required for a day or two. That small tank is known as day tank. Okay, otherwise they have got big, like you have seen that Indian Oil terminals and all, big storage. So they will store that, but for day to day use they will have a small tank. Okay, then from the day tank it comes to the filters and the fuel goes to the engine, and in the bottom you can see main fuel tank. You can see the bottom, there is a main fuel tank, and the main fuel tank there is a filter and a pump which goes to the day tank, and from the day tank by gravity it comes to the diesel engine. Okay, so this is the like fuel supply system, because this day tank, I think this is a new terminology for you. Day tank means for the day to day use, that much only is pumped. Okay, and here you have got that filter and pump. But in the power plant, what I have seen, they have additional heaters also. What? Because this furnace oil and all this oil that becomes due to low temperatures and all, it tries to become like greasy, and the flow is stopped. Its viscosity increases. So to bring it to the fluid state, electrical heaters are used so that the furnace oil viscosity can be reduced. Okay. So the main tank is there. From there is a fuel filter, pump. It goes to the day tank, and from day tank it comes by gravity to the fuel filters and then goes to the engine. So this is a fuel oil circuit. Okay. Now next is air. How air, there are, see, you can see right on the diesel engine left side top, you can see the air intake filter. So any engine there will be a filter will be there, so that the air is cleaned and sent to the engine. Okay, and then to the right of the top you can see there is a exhaust silencer also. So exhaust gases, this air when it is burnt with the fuel, the burnt gases are sent out to the exhaust, and because it makes noise there is something called silencer. You will have baffle plates, small plates in the cylinder, so that the noise is arrested. Okay, and like your bike also we have got a silencer, so it reduces the noise, otherwise the noise will increase. And then bottom you can see below the engine, diesel engine, you can see the lube oil tank. So for that lube oil tank, you have got again a oil filter, then oil pump, and the oil is pumped to the engine for lubrication. This is a separate lubrication system. Oil sump is there, the filter, the pump, and again it comes back to the checking unit, cleaning unit, and goes back to the tank. So here two things are there actually. Not only this is a cleaning it, it's also there will be a cooling unit, because the oil becomes hot, so it has to be cooled. One cleaning and cooling unit it will be there, and it will also carry some burnt particles of the fuel. So there is a cleaning and cooling unit for lubrication. So we have seen now the layout of the diesel power plant, and in the layout we have seen the diesel fuel circuit, fuel oil circuit, that is the diesel circuit. Then we have seen the air circuit. Then we have also seen the lubrication oil circuit, and lastly we have also seen the cooling water, Like see, you can see cooling water. The bottom right hand top side, you have got the cooling tower. From there, cool water comes. There is pumped cooling water pump, CW pump. It comes to the bottom of the engine, and it as it rises on the engine from bottom to the top to the cylinder head, it becomes hot, and then that hot water goes to the cooling tower, and in the cooling tower, this heat is dissipated to the air. So there is a cooling tower transfers the water heat from the water to the ambient air, and then it gets cooled, water gets cooled, and it is again recirculated back to the diesel engine. So this is the layout of a diesel power plant. Very simplified layout it is. And one more thing what I think you might not be knowing, your small bike engines and all, you kick and start, okay, and car engines, you turn the engine, there is a starter motor, so you start the engine. Whereas in this huge big diesel engines, you can't start by kick start or push button start, okay. So for them, most of the time I've seen they have got a small compressor. So they will have a small compressor, and the compressor will always have a air receiver, and that air receiver, they always that air receiver will be filled with air at around 25 bar pressure. So to crank the engine, what they will do, they will supply the compressed air from the air receiver to the diesel engine, and this compressed air will go on the top of the piston. In the piston cylinder arrangement, this will go on the top of the piston and push the piston down. Okay, so there will be multiple cylinders for these engines. Normally it is 12 cylinder, 16 cylinder, 20 cylinder engines. So it will push the cylinders, and thus these engines are cranked. So this is one more feature which I think you might not be exposed to. So the starting of the big diesel engine cannot be done by your kick start or your self start. So you have a starting air compressor and air receivers, okay. So this is a starting system. So I think this discussion what we had, you are able to understand and appreciate the layout of diesel power plant, okay. So next talk we will again discuss about the further things like cooling of the diesel power plant, lubrication systems of the diesel power plant, and even fuel injection system, okay. Thank you.